Hey everybody, Hans Herky here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm joined by a very special friend, a special guest, all the way from Australia.
Hi.
My friend Katie Elizabeth Anderson.
Hello.
Hello.
Or kia ora.
Kia ora.
Kia ora. Really good.
Whatever she said, I guess I did it good.
That means hello in Māori, which is I'm actually a New Zealander.
Oh, okay.
But I do live in Australia, and that is our traditional greeting. Or in Australia, it's g'day.
G'day.
Yeah.
G'day. I'm sure you
really
hear
good.
that all the time though.
No, actually
Really?
you're the first. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we just had a little dinner in Burbank. Mm-hmm. You're here doing some business meetings and doing some classes and working on some stuff.
Yes.
And networking.
Yes.
So we just had a little dinner in Burbank and we decided, hey, let's do an impromptu interview in the car, in the parking lot. We're in Burbank somewhere. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how is it going? Like, how are you enjoying LA? This is your first time, right?
Well, I came when I was about 8 years old.
All right.
And did the whole Universal Studios, Disneyland, but it kind of doesn't really count when you're a kid. Yeah, so this is my first adult trip to LA, and I'm loving it so far. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And how long are you here for?
I'm just here till March the 15th. I'm shooting something next weekend. And then depending on how well that goes, I'll be back. Not entirely sure when, but that is to be continued.
Right. So what are a couple of things about LA that are sticking out to you that you really, I love this and not sure about this? Anything memorable in particular? I actually really love driving around all the streets and all the roads. I love how you're nestled in amongst all the hills. It's quite picturesque, and I love taking photos. It's just a secret hobby of mine. And there's just so much street art everywhere. Mm-hmm. I'm always wanting to pull the car over and stick my camera out because there's just so much everywhere. But what I really love is with the recent tragedy with Kobe Bryant and his daughter and the other beautiful souls, you just see Kobe everywhere, and I think it's so beautiful that everyone celebrates. They come together and they celebrate it, and I just see his face and little tributes all over the place. Mm-hmm. So LA is it's very much alive. I feel like it's a place that just doesn't turn off. Yeah, that's about right.
And there's always something to do as well. So,
mm-hmm.
And it's so spread out. So I'm constantly stimulated. So.
And there's lots of good places to eat too. So
yes.
Do you like the food here a lot better than over there, or do you like
too much?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, your grocery stores are insane. They are. I admittedly, one of the highlights of my trip so far is going to Whole Foods.
As we call it here, whole paycheck.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
We need a half Foods.
I know. And Whole Foods and Trader Joe's always have the worst parking lots in the world.
I will agree with you on that one. Parking here is crazy, but
yeah.
I've been lucky, touch wood, so maybe it's my manifestation technique or something, but
it's like, I want my spot right in the front of the store.
Yeah, I've been pretty lucky.
That's awesome. So is there any inspiration behind like where you wanted to get started in acting? How long ago did you get started in acting, and was there anything that drove you like, this is what I want to do the rest of my life?
Well, it's really interesting. I didn't really arrive at the conclusion that I wanted to be an actress until probably in my teenage years. But because I was actually incredibly painfully shy, I'm actually more introverted than I am extroverted. Surprise. I didn't think that a small farm girl would have a chance, but it was always a dream of mine. And as a child, now that I look back,
anytime that I did any drama or anything, I felt freedom within doing that. But it wasn't until I was a lot older that I realized that I felt free while doing that, and I found it quite liberating. But my real love of movies, I think, came from my dad. He loved films, and he loved everything and anything. He was a big fan of Steven Seagal. But he brought us up on everything. So I watched Bloodsport, Best of the Best, Kickboxer, like all the Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, all the Lethal Weapon movies. And he had so much delight in watching them, and he loved it so much that I was just like, well, if I can do that, and be able to take my dad down the red carpet or something like that, that would just be like Christmas for me. So Dad was a huge driver behind me wanting to be an actor. And then I just kind of fell into it, if that makes sense. On a whim. I met someone when I was young, and he wanted me to move down where he was, and I had a gap where I could do some study, and I enrolled in a drama class down there, or drama school, for 6 months just to see what it was like, and I fell head over heels in love with acting, and I ended up doing singing and dance. And then an opportunity came up to audition for one of the big drama schools in New Zealand, and I just kind of went along, not expecting to get a call back.
Right.
I got a call back.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's happened to me too.
Yeah, and it just kind of unfolded from there, and I did my bachelor's many moons ago. So I did a degree in performance arts, majoring in acting, and it just kind of grew from there. But I think it happened so many years ago that I did my degree. I think I was so green and so naive that I'm a firm believer that things happen to you when they're meant to and when you're ready for them. And I think that my career didn't bloom when I was younger. I mean, I did get some bits and pieces which were really lucrative and really good for me young, but I didn't have that emotional depth and that emotional experience to bring to some of the characters that I was presented to. And so my career is only really starting to, in the last maybe year or so, really starting to really build and get more momentum. And I think a large part of that is because I've had so much happen, as we discussed at dinner, in my life, which has given me a rich tapestry of emotions to draw from.
Absolutely.
And a quote that I carry with me whenever I'm in doubt, a friend of mine said to me, we're all flowers in the same garden, we just bloom at different times.
Love it.
So you just got to focus on your own journey, and it doesn't matter when it happens for you, as long as you're consistent, you keep moving forward, and you invest in yourself, it will happen when it's meant to. Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
And you've done some commercials over there in Australia.
I've done a few.
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, you did?
I saw a couple of them on a reel, or one was for a Jeep, right?
Yeah. It was actually for a chocolate bar.
Oh, chocolate bar, but it was like a Jurassic Park type setting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. It was awesome.
That was an amazing shoot. I had 2 stunt doubles. I had I had a gentleman dressed up as me, and he did most of the crazy stunt driving. And it was actually a Toyota Land Cruiser, funnily enough. It looked like a Jeep though, and they wanted a Jeep. And another close friend of mine, Ange Sipple, who's an amazing stunt woman based in Australia. She did some of the driving, and then I had to do some of the stunt driving, and it was lots of fun. I was freaking out, and I'm so grateful that I did a bit of rally driving in New Zealand, because if I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have had the confidence to do what I had to do in the shoot, which is drive through very dense bush at a very fast pace while being chased by a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
But with all the cameras on me, and because it was so narrow, we were sliding out all over the place.
Oh, man.
And if I didn't have that rally driving experience, I don't think I would have been able to perform at that level, because it was kind of scary.
I bet. And how many days did it take to do that?
1 15-hour day. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Did they have any of the chocolate at craft service?
They did.
Of course they did.
We got to sample it a month before the public got to, and Darrell Lea chocolate is beautiful. Australians and Kiwis know how to do their chocolate. Just saying.
Did you get to take any home?
I did actually.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very nice. It was the Rocky Road bar that we were promoting, hence the kind of being on a rocky road.
Rocky Road driving.
Yeah.
Being chased by a dinosaur.
Yes.
And did they give you like a point of view, like this is, hey, look at my fist, this is the dinosaur chasing you, like something to look at, like eyeline wise?
Yeah, so they just say he's right behind you, and they would have, his name was Terry, and they just give me cues every now and then, but as you're driving you have to be you had to be really, really quick.
Oh, okay.
Because eyes off the road, because it was so narrow, and you're going downhill. I mean, it would quite easily, if you overcorrected yourself, you could end up in a tree. And because I had actor in the back and actor to, because we drive on this side, to the left of me, I was mindful of that, because, one mistake, and especially going at quite a fast pace, wouldn't have been very pretty. So
that's awesome. You must have had a lot of fun shooting that. That's what it's all about for us. It's the adventure, the fun, trying out new stuff, and
it was
so cool.
One of the best shoots I've done so far. So
yeah, I really enjoyed it when I watched it. It was very fun. And do you get these commercials through an agency out there that you have now?
Well, what I found really interesting is, and correct me if I'm wrong, in America you have a manager, a commercial agent, and then a theatrical agent. Is that correct?
Yeah.
See, in Australia we just have one agent, and that one agent kind of services all of those means. So they send you off for auditions for TVCs. I don't know if you have, that's out, television commercials, sometimes print. Seldom get voiceovers. It depends if you've got a voice reel. And they do send you off for feature film and episodic commercials, and even theatrical, like for theatre and stuff like that. So it all comes through one agent. Whereas in America, you've got different agents for different reasons, and so it is quite different. It's more condensed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got an agent in Australia, Better Management Entertainment Group, with Maven Rowe, and then my New Zealand agent is Karen Kay, and both agents have been established for many years. I'm very blessed to be with both of them, but I haven't got an agent in America yet, but I have a couple of meetings next week, so we'll see what
hopefully
happens.
It goes well.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It'll go well for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it'll go. Hopefully one day we'll get to work together too.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Is there any memorable, like you talked about your commercial, is there any other memorable things that you worked on, either film, TV, or commercial, or even theater stuff you've done? Any of that as well?
Oh, that's a big question. I think I've had a very colourful array of characters that I've got to play, and that's what I love about acting is it's like adult dress-ups. And one moment you're fighting in a apocalyptic war and against aliens, and then the next minute you are an alien trying to save Earth, which are two of the roles that I've been lucky enough to play. I think
I've had so many amazing memories. One thing I love about filming is the people that you meet, and the real intimate bonds that you form with people while you're on set.
Right.
I think I have takeaways from every single set that I've been on. I think probably the most epic memory of more recent times is an indie feature film that I was in. I was one of the lead roles, and they had the premiere for it, and it's an independent film, but they booked out a film theatre. It's one of the biggest film theatres in Queensland, and it was packed, and I was so nervous. People wanted to do like red carpet interviews with me, and I just couldn't even string my words together because I hadn't seen any cut of the film, so I was a bit nervous. Was my acting going to be alright? Was the film going to be great? It went off with a hitch. It was wonderful, but I think it's kind of surreal when there's the red carpet and your face is on the poster and people wanting to have photos with you, and then you see yourself on the big screen. It's you've
rewarding.
experienced, yeah,
it's very rewarding.
And 18 months of my life and weekends went into that film, and it was a very long shoot. So I think that was one of the most memorable moments. There's just so many. Another one was we were meant to, and you've probably had this happen, we were meant to wrap at 12 o'clock at night. We didn't wrap until like 5 a.m. in the morning. I get cast in very similar roles often. I don't know if that's something that you experience in your films. You get typecast a lot?
Sometimes I do, but that's why I like to branch out now to different like villain roles and things like that. So yeah, but I get typecast once in a while.
So what's your the typical quintessential role that you would get put forward for?
A cop.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's like my dream role.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'd love to play a detective.
Yeah, detective, cop. But then when I started getting offered the villain roles, I'm like, yeah, we'll take those on.
Yeah, they're very, like we were saying at dinner, it's an opportunity to explore parts of yourself that you wouldn't normally be able to, and it's quite liberating, because acting, or they say that art doesn't have boundaries, but at the same time it does, but they're boundaries that are put there by the director. And the director's almost like your safe place, because you can go as far as you can, and the director is the voice that will pull you back. So it's kind of exciting that you get a lot of freedom to explore the depths of your emotional self and to see how far you can go.
Yeah.
It's scary, but it
is very scary.
But it's liberating at the same time. So,
and like when you play one of those dark characters, like I was talking about how I purge that out of my system when I'm done.
Yeah.
What was your method of checking out? You're done with that character. Goodbye. How did you get that out of your system?
I think after there was a role that I did that I was telling you about, where I play a very, very jealous stepmother who has so much hatred towards the world and everything. She very much plays the victim, and she's incredibly jealous of her very successful stepdaughter, and they have a very heated argument where I call her out, and there's just nothing but just poison and hate just spills out of her mouth to this girl. And straight after, because it was quite emotional and the energy in the room was electric, but straight after, the moment they yell cut, we all end up just hugging each other and just saying, oh, I'm sorry, is it okay, is it okay?
I know, I did that too.
So I think a lot of that is very much, if you create a really good relationship with the actors that you're working with, you release it once that the director yells cut. But if you do still have some of that residual energy, what I find works for me, I live in a very beautiful part of the world called the Gold Coast, I go into nature, and I'll go for a beach walk, or a walk among the trees or the bush, and I listen to really beautiful music, and I find that really calms me down, and that brings me back to me. Other things that I do things that make me feel happy. I do art, so I paint, or I journal it out, because what's Shrek saying, it's better out than in.
Yeah.
So that's how I kind of help release some of those characters.
Okay.
But sometimes it can be quite hard to shake, depending on how far you go down the rabbit hole. Yeah.
Wow. That's deep.
Yeah.
That's really deep.
Very deep person. Yeah.
Do you have any advice for any young aspiring actresses that want to get started in the industry, and anything that you want to tell them, any advice or words of encouragement you want to give to anyone that wants to get started?
I would love to. If your heart is in it, and if you really, really, really want to do this, and you believe that you can, just be consistent. Keep going. If this is what you really, really want to do it. But don't be lazy about it. I was lazy about it, and I was wondering why I wasn't booking roles and things. I listened to a lot of podcasts, and I read some books. One of my favourite actors, Bryan Cranston, I listened to him on a podcast, and I actually listened to his book. And he said that he took acting classes. And the thing is acting is I did drama school, I did my 3-year degree, and then I thought, what's going to come to me? And it was a little bit of naivety and arrogance, but what I realised is it's like going to the gym. You can't exactly go to the gym, pick up all the weights, do a really, really good session, or do, a week's worth of the gym, and then just leave it and walk away, and then come back maybe 2 months later and pick it up. You're not going to get the results, and you're not going to grow and evolve as an actor or actress if you don't maintain like the craft. And that's reading scripts, reading plays, watching like podcast, or like listening to podcasts, or watching podcasts, watching movies, but also taking notes, going over scripts, learning monologues, going to classes. Like, I highly encourage that you do more of that, but also keep your integrity and morals intact, and follow the good feeling. If something doesn't feel right, definitely question it. Make sure that your headshots are up to date, and be authentic. People love when you are being yourself, because everyone else is trying to be everyone else, but when you're uniquely you, that's when you shine through. And when you do go into the audition room, that 3 minutes or what have you that you had, that's yours, and that's your chance to give them a gift, which is you. But preparation, exercising your craft, meets opportunity. That's what luck is. So always be prepared. Always, do your work. And also place yourself around people who do it, who live it, who breathe it, because it's best to get advice from people who've been there, who've experienced it, and to have mentors that are actually in the industry, not people that know about the industry but actually are in it and are living and breathing it, because you are the sum of the people that you surround yourself with. So, yeah. Bit long-winded, but
no, that was very well said.
Thank you.
I was very captivated by what you're saying. So I hope the audience is captivated by these beautiful words, Katie. Very well said.
Absolute pleasure.
In closing, do you have any goals or aspirations that you want to reach this year or beyond?
Oh, big question. I think for me this year, my big goal is to book consistent episodic. So I've been very blessed with doing feature films and short films and TV commercials, but I'd love to have something a little bit more regular and ongoing. So I've got a couple of projects lined up, which are looking quite good at this moment. So it's very much a watch this space.
Good.
Yeah.
And how can people find any of the past work that you have done right now?
At the moment, I had an accident with my laptop and I deleted a lot of my material.
Oh no.
It's me and technology are not fantastic with each other. But at the moment, I post some of my stuff on YouTube. But if my best handle is my Instagram, which is at K4ND3R, where I post, I've got a little link on there, and that's linked to my CV, my work, my show reel, which is in the process of being updated, hence why I'm over here. But yeah, so definitely Instagram. I'm on Facebook as well, and if you have any questions or want to send me a DM, please feel free to. I'd love to hear from you.
Right on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you taking time to have some dinner and do a quick impromptu interview. It was fun.
Thank you.
And please check out Katie's work, support her career, follow her on Instagram, add her on Facebook. Any filmmakers out there that want to work with her, she's here. She wants to work.
Hi.
And I really do hope to work with you someday.
Oh,
You're fantastic.
likewise. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Maybe we could both be villains or something.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Chris Sanders, Steve Smith, I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Me and her. We'll be villains. So that's all for now. And we will be back again for more interviews, more Disneyland stuff, more food reviews, more baby videos too. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the notification button below, somewhere below.
Yeah,
And subscribe to her channel as well. The links will be in the description below. And support her career. That's what keeps us driving, is the support that we get from you guys. So thank you again for watching. This is Hans Herky signing out.
Kia ora.
Bye.
Bye.